after a car crash, sometimes the question comes up, when should I think about contacting a law firm? And I think also what goes along with that is how am I going to pay for it? And so I think first people need to understand you can contact a law firm as early as you want to, and I'll talk about when you probably should do that, but at no cost to you. And I think that's an important thing. When you're making that decision, the cost associated with calling the law firm doesn't need to be part of the equation, because most lawyers who do what we do, and the way that our law firm works is we work on a contingency fee. So we don't get paid when you call us. We get paid only if we take and win your case. And there's no cost for calling. So that should not even be part of the equation. It's just about when is the best time after a car crash to contact a lawyer. And I would say to you, it's important to understand that the police may come to a car crash scene and they're looking at this through a different lens. They're trying to say, did somebody break the law? And did they break society's laws? And do they need to get a ticket? But they're not necessarily looking to find out, well, gee, who is the employer of the person who caused that crash? And how were they trained? And, have they had multiple crashes before this? And they're not necessarily also, for issuing a traffic ticket, they may not be gathering all of the witness information. They may not be looking for video. Video is so prevalent these days, but it goes away. So we have to think about, from a timing perspective, that evidence after a car crash is what I like to say is fleeting, meaning it's going to disappear. We've all seen it. A car crash occurs, they may close the road or a lane or two. They do their investigation as quickly as they can. They move the vehicles to the side. They get out of the way so that traffic can start flowing again. But for the person who's just been injured in that car crash, all of the evidence documenting where the skid marks are, what happened, who might have witnessed it, all of these things are extremely important. And because they disappear over time, it's important, I believe, if you have been injured or believe that you have an injury, you should call a lawyer as soon as possible. I mean, the same day or the next day, just so that preservation of important evidence can begin. And certainly, if you or a family member are seriously hurt, and you have to call a lawyer immediately, because the more serious the injury, the more that's at stake for the family, and the more important it is to gather the evidence. Why do we have to gather the evidence? Because fault matters. You can't win a case and receive any compensation for any of your losses or your medical bills or your wage loss unless you can prove who was at fault. And so we have to gather that evidence as soon as possible. As a lawyer who has been doing this work for more than 30 years, I would tell you that the best place to put your lawyer is to call the lawyer within 48 hours of the crash, so that the lawyers can get to work preserving the evidence and doing the work that's necessary to secure the record that's going to be needed to get you the compensation at the end of the day.